Hello there and welcome to a new video. That's right, video. It's not going to be a stream today. It's a video of me going through my score predictions. It's only going to be about 10 minutes or so. Previewing game week 32. Looks like it could be a high scoring game thanks to the history. So let's just crack on with it. I mean, up on screen at the moment is the team that I'm almost certainly going in with. So all you clickbaiters out there, there it is. See you later. But for anybody else that's interested, we've got Ramsdale in goal, Doherty, Robertson, Trent, Salah captain, Kulusevski, Saka, Son, Barnes, Iheanacho, Weghorst. On the bench, Mopé, who'll score against Arsenal, Tierney, and someone else who I can't... Oh yeah, Michael Keane. So, I have said in members' videos that whatever the history says, I'm going to be captaining. So, spoiler alert, Salah's the best captain. Incredibly. It's a close... To be fair... Of my specific, this is only for my specific team. Captaincy choices are Salah, Saka, Son, Barnes. They're all really tight, and you'll find out in a minute exactly how tight it is, and it is tight, in a good way as well. Surprisingly, although one of them is pretty poor, but three of them have actually got really good records against the teams that they're playing against. But let's just quickly get on with the score predictions as ever. Let us know in the comments, yeah. So, essentially, I'm actually predicting this to be, and that's not even the fixtures. There we are, done. I'm not actually thinking this is going to be a tight game week for once. I actually think this could be an open game week with some surprise results. I'm also expecting quite a few away wins as well. So, we start with Newcastle versus Wolves tomorrow night, isn't it? Yeah, tomorrow, because I'll be uploading this in a second. So, tight game. Although, I found out a surprising stat that Wolves, this calendar year, are the highest scoring, I think they're the second highest scoring team in the league. Which is crazy. Now, this does take into account that they've played more games than certain teams, but they've scored 22 goals. Guess who the highest scoring team is? It's Tottenham. So, I've personally gone with... despite all that, I've gone with a 1-0 win for Newcastle. I think they're just going to tighten everything up. It's at home. Newcastle are pretty solid at home. But I just think they're just going to cancel each other out overall. But I'm going to go with a 1-0 victory to Newcastle. But if it was to end 0-0 or 1-1, I would not be surprised. This ain't got goals in it. I'm expecting it to be quite a tight game, especially after Newcastle being battered by Tottenham the other day. So we'll go through the history quickly. The history suggesting... 1-1. The form is saying 1-1. So, yeah, the history is pretty tight between these two. Out of the last 6 fixtures, 4 of them have ended 1-1. And like I say, these two teams are actually in a good form each, away from home and home. So I'm expecting these just to really cancel. I might even change my prediction really to maybe 1-1, maybe 2-1 on the score predictor game. Anyway, so moving on to Saturday, obviously there's quite a few people that are considering Fernandes up against the absolute bunch of clowns that are Everton. Hopefully they get relegated after that last night, and hopefully we can take advantage against against Norwich. We'll find out in a minute. Everton against Man United, easy win for... I say easy. I'm expecting a pretty comprehensive win from Man U. Everton will put up a fight. They're pretty, to be fair... There's a pattern forming for Everton. Loss, won. Loss, won. So, you know what's going to happen. Loss, won. And this is all at home, by the way. Man United, their results are all over the place away from home. But they do like to score away from home. That's why the history's going 3-1. The form is saying 2-0. I'm saying 2-1 because Man United can't keep clean sheets. The next game is probably one of the hardest games to call. For me personally, it's Southampton versus Chelsea. I think it's going to be really, really tight. Neither team are going to lose. I'm just top Tim, giving this to Chelsea, and I mean just. If this was to end 2-1 to Southampton, I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, you know, whenever I talk to you on streams about the fact that a result that would shock me. Well, take last week as the example. Tottenham winning 5-1 against Newcastle. That was like, what? A WTF moment. So, I would not be surprised if Southampton were to win this game. If there was a win comfortably, like Brentford did 4-1 or whatever, then I'd be like, bloody hell, what's going on here? Southampton out of form at the moment. But so are Chelsea. So could they cancel each other out? Absolutely. I'm just giving it in favour of Chelsea in a 2-1 victory, only because Southampton's form of late has been pretty poor, albeit Chelsea of late, literally of recent times, i.e. against Real Madrid and Brentford, conceding 7 goals and only scoring twice. Could be even a 0-0. But the history's saying, Top Tim, 1-1. You've actually got a decent record against. You put up a good fight against Southampton, against Chelsea. There's a few good batterings by Chelsea, a couple of 4 goals scored by them. But overall, you put up a good fight against them. And then the form is saying 2-1 to Chelsea. Chelsea away from home are really, really good. This is a real key battle in the relegation zone, although Watford need to win. Leeds are, within reason, safe-ish. Watford at home are atrocious. Leeds away from home are atrocious. Although, I do expect Leeds to win. I think just with the quality of player, I expect them to... It's a bit like the Chelsea game, really. I think just because of the quality of player, I think they're just going to come through, and I think they're going to beat Watford 2-1. The history is suggesting a 3-1 to Watford. Watford have had a lot of fun against Leeds, whereas the form is suggesting a 3-1 reverse to Leeds. I missed out Arsenal-Brighton because I just did. So Arsenal versus Brighton. Arsenal coming off the back of an atrocious performance against Crystal Palace. Brighton are really, really, really bad at them. What's that? That's a Simpsons joke, isn't it? You are really, really bad. They're really in poor form at the moment. Although, ironically, away from home, they're actually all right. They're actually putting some really good performances. But I just expect Arsenal to come through this. I've gone with 2-0 myself. The history is saying 2-0. The form, though, the form is saying 2-1. They're expecting Brighton to score in this. Because, like I said, Brighton's away form is actually pretty decent. Oh, this is the interesting one. Aston Villa versus Spurs. Aston Villa, literally, as Karma Babe will know, and Harbour Boy, all out of sorts at the moment. Spurs, on the other hand, they're winning games. They're scoring goals. They are the highest scoring team in this calendar year. I'm expecting Spurs to go there and win 3-1. However, despite the fact the history is saying 2-1 to Tottenham, the form... So the form being the last 6 games at home and the last 6 games away from home. The form is actually saying a very high scoring 3-2 win to who, Harbour Boy? Your boys, Aston Villa. So that could be a really entertaining game. Brentford West Ham, really, really tight. Extremely tight. I actually think, would you believe, that Brentford are going to win this? West Ham in the Europa League tonight. Could they be tired? Possibly. I've gone 2-1 with Brentford. That's what I may, in the score predictor game, I may go 1-1. But at the moment as it stands, I've gone 2-1 with Brentford. The form is suggesting a high-scoring 2-2. And the history is suggesting a 2-1 victory to West Ham. But 1-1... 2-1 either way, something like that, a tight game. Leicester Crystal Palace, this is for me one of my highest scoring games of the weekend. From my personal point of view, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Crystal Palace like to attack, Leicester like to hit on the counter. I think this is going to be a high scoring 2-2 game. The history is going 2-1 to Leicester, and the form is also suggesting 2-1. Just to let you know as well, I should have said at the start of the video, but it doesn't matter. Should have said that last week the form had an absolute incredible game week. So last week it got five results exactly on the money. It got the Liverpool versus Watford, Brighton versus Norwich, Burnley versus Man City, Wolves versus Aston Villa, and West Ham versus Everton. All 5 of those results the form correctly got right. And the form is actually usually pretty accurate when it comes to these last 6 home and away. So it's worth taking into account. I'll quickly run through them in a minute. Norwich versus Burnley. This is absolutely ginormous. Huge game for both teams, but mainly Burnley because Norwich are gone. There's no way in hell they're staying up. They're still putting up fights, but But I'd like to think if we just go at them, control the game, I'd like to think that we will win here. I do think we'll win here. I think we're going to go with a 2-0. I actually think we're going to win 2-0. And just to let people know that are watching this, that are brand new around here, I'll be covering both games. So Norwich versus Burnley and Man City versus Liverpool. So it's going to be a very long day of streaming. But yeah, we'll be kicking off with Norwich versus Burnley. Obviously, there are games between Leicester, Crystal Palace and Brentford West Ham that day as well at 2 o'clock. They're all kicking off. But so I'm going 2-0 Burnley. The history saying 2-1. The form, though, because both teams are terrible at home and terrible away, is saying 1-1. Finally, the Rock. Man City, Liverpool. Is this the game which decides the title? Jurgen Klopp says no. Pep Guardiola has probably said no. I think this is probably the title decider because I can't see these two teams slipping up. I think Man City's running is a lot easier. In fact, it is a lot easier. They should be pretty comprehensive if they win this game. And unfortunately, Liverpool fans, I expect you to lose this. But in a very tight game, I'm going to go 1-0 to Man City. Man City at home are disgusting. They're freaks of nature. They just wash everybody aside. And unfortunately for you lot, any Liverpool fans out here, the history, there's a bit of a pattern forming here. It's suggesting a high-scoring victory for Man City. It's saying 4-1. I'll repeat that. The history is suggesting a 4-1. So the pattern is essentially the home team wins highly, so i.e. Liverpool won 3-1, followed up by a draw, followed up by a home win of a high-scoring game, so it was 4-1. Then it was followed by a draw, 1-1, followed by a 4-0. So, and then it was followed up by 1-1 or some fucking combination like that. Oh, I just swore then, that's 50p. So, I think that this is just going to be, for me, just cancelling each other out. A very, very tight game. But 4-1 would be a massive shock to me. The form is suggesting 1-1. Liverpool away from home are excellent. Man City at home are excellent. I just think they'll probably cancel each other out. But if it was to end 4-1, I would be really, really shocked. So just to quickly go through the form. Again, it's suggesting Newcastle versus Wolves 1-1. Everton, Man United 2-0 to Man U. Arsenal, Brighton 2-1 to Arsenal. Southampton, Chelsea 2-1 to Chelsea. Watford, Leeds 3-1 to Leeds. Aston Villa, Tottenham 3-2 to Aston Villa. Brentford, West Ham 2-2. Leicester versus Crystal Palace 2-1 to Leicester. 1-1 between Norwich and Burnley and 1-1 between Man City and Liverpool. Now, the all-important captaincy for myself. Who has got the best history versus the respective teams that they're playing? So, Saka, 3 starts, 1 sub-appearance against Brighton, 2 assists. Son, 4 starts versus Aston Villa, 3 goals, 1 assist. There you are, Dread. Here we are, Ashley Barnes, I'm doing a Jason there. Harvey Barnes, he's got a very good record against Crystal Palace. 4 starts, 1 sub-appearance, 1 goal, 4 assists. Salah, 6 starts versus Man City, 4 goals, 1 assist. And that is why, me personally, I'm going with this team up on screen right now. There you are. It is going to be Salah for the captaincy. It could be changed, but very, very unlikely. It's the old classic line of, if in doubt, Captain Salah. And on that note, I'm going to clear off. This was just a quick... I think it's like about 11 minutes now. As ever, if you disagree, agree, whatever, comment below, but no one ever comments, so it doesn't really matter. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and if you are brand new around here, hit the subscribe button. Anyhow, me and Jason will see you guys well, I'm hoping Jason will, but certainly I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for the post-deadline stream to see what the rivals have done. Thanks very much, and I'll catch you later.